Hi, my name is Jason Marino, an agency manager with Symmetry Financial Group. And in this webinar, we're going to be doing a corporate overview of who Symmetry Financial Group is, who we're looking for, and how it is that we're attracting such great quality people to our organization, and why we're now the fastest growing insurance brokership company of our kind in the United States. It really has a lot to do with who's behind our company. Our owners Brandon Ellison, Casey Watkins, Brian Pope, they all came from the insurance industry prior to starting Symmetry as agents. And they got very frustrated with the industry because there's a lot of imbalance in the insurance business. A lot of imbalance of income from top to bottom. As most insurance companies, there's a lot of people at the top making a lot of money, and lots of agents at the bottom that usually just scrape by. And that's why there's a lot of high turnover in this industry. They were also frustrated there's a lot of imbalance with time and money from an agent's perspective. There was a lot of time spent prospecting, talking to friends, talking to family, hustling referrals, and not a lot of time spent with clients that actually make you money. And because of that need to spend so much time to make a decent living, there's an imbalance of time with family and personal life. Brian Pope is just an icon in this industry. He's already built the company to over $100 million a year. When you look at the company's sales history, we started in 2009, ended just over $307,000, and now in 2016 did just over $75 million in sales. When you look at this, you just have to realize that there's a system in place. But what's even more impressive is when Brian Pope, who again has already built the company to $100 million in sales, is projecting that in 2017 we will do $100 million as a company. And 3 years later in 2020 we'll break the $300 million mark in annual sales. So these are very exciting times for Symmetry. So another reason we're growing as fast as we are is really because of the lifestyle that Symmetry has been able to create for so many agents within our company. Symmetry means balance. Balance between work and family. Not having to trade time for money. Most insurance sales jobs, you're spending 10% of your time actually sitting down with clients who want to talk to you, and 90% of your time prospecting. Again, calling friends, family, taking people out to lunch, and getting referrals. Symmetry has flipped those percentages. Symmetry agents spend about 90% of the time actually sitting in front of qualified people who have asked to be contacted and asked for the products that we offer. And what that does is it really creates consistency. Consistency in activity, consistency in results, and consistency in income. Nobody likes the typical lifestyle of insurance agents where every week you feel like you're unemployed and constantly looking for the next sale. And with Symmetry, we don't have that. I view our agents as problem solvers. Let's take a look at some of the problems that we can solve. Right now we have a mortgage crisis and foreclosures. If you look at the news, it looks like things are getting better. But statistically, they're not. They're actually getting worse. If you look at New Jersey alone, New Jersey reported a 197% increase in foreclosures in 2015 over 2014. Over half of those foreclosures happen because of a medical issue, a disability, or a death, and only 32% actually occurred because of a job loss or decrease in income. So what are our solutions for these problems? Solution number one is mortgage protection. It's a $100 million industry. And what happens with this product is when a homeowner buys this product, it covers them for a death benefit. So if one of them does pass away, it's going to pay off the home for the family. So there's no risk of a foreclosure. The second thing is for critical illness, a heart attack, cancer, stroke. If one of those events happens, it's going to pay off either a portion of or the entire mortgage. And if there's a disability, whether it's from an accident or from a medical issue, it's going to make those mortgage payments for the family. And if the product is not used, if the homeowner does not pass away or have a critical illness in the term of the product, there's even a return of premium option where they're going to get refunded all the premiums they paid for their policy. So it becomes a very easy sale. Solution number two is final expense. This is a huge industry. And solution number three solves the problem that a lot of our homeowners deal with in losing money in the market. We have products that will protect homeowners' money and their retirement money, whether it be in a 401k or an IRA. The client can take advantage of any upside potential in the market with no downside risk. So how do we find our clients? How is it that we can spend 10% of our time prospecting and 90% sitting down with qualified people? It's through our mortgage protection lead program. What happens is our clients who get a new loan, whether it's a refinance or a new home purchase, they're going to get a letter from our company, and about 1 to 1.5% of those actually fill out this letter and mail it back. This letter is going to be tailored specifically for that client and is going to have the client's names, their lender's name, And it's going to say something to the effect of, you're entitled to participate in an affordable mortgage protection insurance program which could pay off your home in the amount of X money in case of death or disability. Now these homeowners are going to put their birthday, their spouse's birthday, whether or not they smoke, and the best time to contact them. So these are the people that we're actually meeting with. These are people who have actually already expressed interest. They've already said that sounds like a product that I would be interested in. So it becomes not as much about the sale as much as a consultation, where we sit down with the homeowner and figure out what their main concerns are and determine which carrier is going to have the best product to meet their needs. So really our job is just to sit down and qualify them. And because of that, most of our appointments are one-sit closes where we take the application on the first appointment. Now how does the lead program work? We have new leads and we have bonus leads. The new lead costs the company about $60 on average per lead to generate. Now because of this, we're very protective of who gets these leads and who we hire. We don't charge the agents $60. We charge them $26.50. Symmetry is a big believer in investing in the agents as long as they're willing to invest in themselves. Now the bonus lead program. These leads originated as new leads, and if the agent doesn't help that client within 5 weeks, it becomes a bonus lead available to another Symmetry agent at $5.50. Now they have leads for $4.50, $3.50, $2.50, all the way down to 50 cents per lead. And we have hundreds of thousands of bonus leads available all over the U.S., so agents can start on any budget. And I want you to notice at the bottom it says leads are not required and are only available for agents who qualify and can maintain minimum production requirements. Some agents start off just talking to friends and family and referrals just like other insurance companies, and you can do that for free. Right now we're looking for part-time and full-time agents. Let's take a look at how you can make $57,000 per year as a part-time agent. Our average policy per client is about $85 a month. Times 12 is about $1,000 of premium that client is going to pay over the course of a year. We call that annual premium volume. As a starting agent, you start at 60% contract level. What that means is if you sell one policy for $85 a month or $1,000 a year, as a new agent you're going to get 60% of that, which is $600 per sale. Now for part-time agents, we recommend about 6 leads per week. So let's look at statistically what that means for an average agent if you take 6 leads per week. You're going to sit in about 5 of those appointments, and out of 5 appointments that you sit with, you're going to typically write about 3 applications if you're average. Out of those 3 applications, about 2 will get issued, as one typically will either get declined or cancel. So out of those 2 applications times $600, that's $1,200 per week, an income of $4,800 a month, and annually that's $57,600 per year. Now again, we're also looking for full-time agents. So let's take a look at how you can make $115,000 a year as a full-time agent. The recommended schedule for a full-time agent is 6 to 8 hours of calling leads and then meeting with clients on Monday and Tuesday. That's a full-time schedule for our agents. We recommend 12 leads per week for a full-time agent, and statistically, if you're average, out of 12 leads you're going to have 10 appointments that you sit on. You're going to take 5 applications, and 4 of those will get issued. Now weekly, that's 4 applications times $600 or $2,400 a week in income, or $9,600 a month, or $115,000 per year for a full-time agent. Let's take a look for those that want to build an agency. We're looking for agents. We're also looking for agency managers and people who want to run a territory and hire other agents. Now let's assume in this example that you're working with clients, you're at an 80% contract submitting 12 applications per month that get issued, which would yield an income of $9,600 per month, just as in the previous example. But let's say you hired 3 agents. Brian is at a 70% contract level, Mary's at a 65% contract level, and Mike is brand new at a 60% contract level. So with Brian, there's a 10% spread between your 80% and his 70%. So let's assume that Brian writes 15 applications per month to get issued, which is about $15,000 in premium. His income will be about $10,500 per month. And off of that volume now, as a manager, you're going to get that 10% spread, which is $1,500 per month just on Brian's volume. Now for Mary, her income is $6,500 per month because she's at a 65% commission level, and you're at an 80%. You as a manager would get that 15% difference, which is going to be $1,500 a month off of Mary. And for Mike, an extra $1,000 a month. So with this example, at this volume, you're now earning a total of $4,000 a month in passive income, in addition to your $9,600 that you were doing from your own business. Now let's take a look a bit further down the road. If you've got 15 agents that work for you, and you're not meeting with clients anymore yourself, you're simply managing those 15 agents and helping them. If you have 5 agents at a 70% contract, 5 agents at a 65% contract, and another 5 agents at a 60% contract, this volume would total about $20,000 per month in income, or $240,000 a year in income. Now we have training available, and we provide all the training for our brand new agents through a program called Fast Track Training. We have the 10 steps to success, we have scripts, video, audio, we have live training, we have Symmetry National Conference training twice per year, and we have regional training. We also have boot camps near you, and we have one-on-one mentorship. One of the biggest advantages with Symmetry Financial Group over other insurance companies is this mentorship program. Working directly with people who have already had lots of success to teach you exactly what they did to have that success. We have conference calls weekly with both Symmetry and with our agency to get the best and latest training to you. We also like to have fun. One of the perks of working with Symmetry is our carrier companies provide incentive trips. This year, we're going to Alaska, Barcelona, Maui, Naples, Cancun, and Laguna Beach. Our full-time agents earn on average 1 to 2 trips per year. So when you look at the lifestyle of our agents, not only do we have a great income, but we also have a great time enjoying travel that doesn't cost our agents anything. So if this sounds appealing to you, again, we want to make sure there's going to be a good fit. We want to make sure we're going to be a good fit for you, and we also want to make sure that you're going to be a good fit for us. What I'd like you to do is apply for an interview. Click the link below, pick a time for us to call you, fill out the qualification questionnaire, and make sure to list 3 reasons why you feel that you would be a good fit for Symmetry. We're going to have one of our hiring managers reach out to you to chat and discuss the next steps. We look forward to talking with you. Thanks, and have a great day.